Hello everybody, welcome to this 20-minute hatha class that is designed to relax and release the back. If you have been standing all day, on your feet all day, or maybe even just sitting all day, you can really feel tightness and discomfort in the back. So you're in exactly the right place. This is the perfect class for you. It's just 20 minutes. You don't need anything other than your mat. So if you are ready, then we can get started. We're going to start lying on our backs. So bring yourself down safely. And for the first part of this session, we're going to keep the knees bent. Maybe heel toe the feet out towards the outer edges of the mat and just allow the knees to fall in towards each other. Just lying with your knees bent like this is just gives the lower back a slight release. And we're just going to land our body into the mat. So gaze comes up to the ceiling, feel a length through the back of the neck. And if you feel comfortable to close the eyes, just shut the eyes down now. And let's just land the body into the mat and come into the space, arriving into the next 20 minutes, knowing that we're going to do something good for ourselves, good for our body, good for our spine. And as we lie here, just become aware of any aches or pains or tightness or tension. And as you move through the session, just make sure that you keep these places safe. And if something begins to cause you pain, then make sure you listen to those signals from your body that's telling you to stop and come back to a more comfortable position to you. So make sure you're listening to what your body is telling you. As we lie here, just relaxing into the mat, relax the shoulders down. Take the awareness to the breath. Gently breathing in and out through the nose. And as you breathe, just aim to take that breath a little deeper. So feel the belly rising and falling with each inhale and exhale. And we aim to keep this gentle breath going throughout the class. Let's bring the arms out to shoulder height, if that's comfortable. I'm going to heel toe the feet back in, so they're about shoulder or about hip width apart. And on the next inhale, we allow both knees to fall down to the right hand side. And as you exhale, bring them back up to the center. And we inhale those knees down to the left and exhale back up to the center. Inhale down to the right, maybe gaze goes the opposite direction. Inhale back up to the center, allow both legs to fall down to the left. Gaze to the right, and then inhale back up to the center. Let's bring the knees into the chest now, one hand on each knee. I'm going to gently rock from side to side here, feeling a lovely massage into that lower spine. Now we bring the knees, ankles and feet together, and we allow both of those legs to fall down towards the right hand side. Maybe the right hand goes on top of the left knee, and maybe our left arm can come out to shoulder height and gaze can go in the opposite direction to the legs, just to come into that lovely full spinal twist. And releasing through that back. And just ensuring that we're still breathing in and out gently through the nose. Using the right hand to help if you need to. Bring both knees back up to the center. Maybe a little rock to reset. And then let's allow both knees to fall down to the left hand side. So maybe left hand comes on top of right knee and right arm comes out at shoulder height. And just gently breathing in and out through the nose as the gaze goes down towards the left hand, coming into this other this full spinal twist in the opposite direction. One more moment here. And then with the use of the left hand, if you need, just gently bringing those knees back up into the chest and rocking from side to side. Let's change the grip of the hands. So the hands are going to come behind the knees now, and the knees are going to come out towards the armpits. Bring your feet up towards the ceiling. You're going to come into a happy baby pose, and this might feel good for you. You're going to make sure that the spine stays nice and long along the floor. So make sure that you're not kind of crumpling the neck and your gaze comes backwards. So keep your spine nice and straight along the floor, and you're welcome to keep your hands here. Maybe lift your hands up towards your shins, maybe your ankles. Maybe you can use your first 2 fingers to wrap around the big toes, maybe holding on to the outside of the feet. Feels more comfortable. And we're encouraging knees towards armpits, nice length through the spine. And you can stay still here, or maybe taking a gentle rock from side to side. And this is just a gorgeous stretch for that lower back. Feeling the shoulder blades pull apart, stretching through the upper back as well. And just massaging that spine into the mat. I'll take another moment here, feeling that length through the back of the neck. And then wherever the hands are, let's release the hands. One little more tuck in toward, knees in towards the chest. And then we're going to roll over onto one side and gently bring ourselves up to a seated position. And let's come cross-legged on to the mat. So finding a place, a shape that's comfortable for you. And let's breathe in and sweep the arms up above our heads. We're going to bring the arms forwards. They're going to land in front of us. And gently, we're just going to walk the hands away. Now go to your measure here. And we're just gently folding the body forwards across over our legs. You may be able to get your elbows down onto the floor, or maybe just even the tips of your fingers. So wherever you are, find a place that feels good for you. Let's bring our upper body up, and we're going to change the cross in the legs. So put the other leg in front. Let's breathe in and sweep the arms up above our heads. We're going to bring the arms forwards. They land on the mat in front. And then we take a forward fold over those legs. One side might feel a bit tighter than the other. So just go with what feels right on this side. And again, maybe it's fingertips that are on the floor. Maybe your whole hand is on the floor. Maybe you can walk forwards further. Maybe elbows can come down. So finding a shape that feels good. Let's spend one more moment here. And then walking the hands up towards the body. Let's come back upright. And we're going to move into an all fours position on the mat. So swing the legs around to one side, hands and knees on the mat. And let's take a moment to just check our alignment. So our hands are going to be directly under our shoulders. Our knees are directly under the hips. And we're not slumping into the mat. We're going to actively push the mat away. And as we inhale, we're going to lift the tailbone and the gaze up towards the ceiling. And as we exhale, tailbone down, gaze comes between knees. And then let's reverse. So we inhale and open, and exhale, round and dome the spine, pressing it towards the ceiling. Inhaling and extending, gaze and tailbone up, and exhaling, rounding and doming the spine. And then let's bring our hips back towards our heels, and we're going to stretch our hands forwards. Forehead comes towards floor. And let's rest down here in our child's pose. Stretch the hands as far away as you can. So stretching forwards through the hands. Now knees and feet are going to stay where they are. We're going to bring the body up and over. The hips come down towards the mat. And then bring the hips back up and coming back into our child's pose. Lovely. And again, so we're bringing ourselves forwards. If it feels too intense here, you can always bring the hands forwards a touch and come into seal pose. And then bringing the hips back into child's pose. We're going to do one more round. So bringing the body forwards, extending through the back, maybe taking the gaze up. Lovely. And then bringing our hips back and resting down into child's pose. So forehead on the mat. And let's take a couple of breaths here. Gently breathing in and out through that nose, remember. Leaving the hands where they are, let's bring the body back up. Gaze between the hands. I'm going to step that right foot forwards so it lands between the hands. So we meet in a low lunge on the mat. So maybe hands stay on the floor, maybe upper body comes up. You can leave your hands on that front thigh, or maybe bring your arms up above your head. Take your eye gaze down and just make sure you can see your toes over that knee at the front. And then sink your hips down towards the mat. And this is a great stretch if you have been sitting all day. It's a lovely stretch down the front of the left hip, so into that hip flexor, which can get really tight. Let's sweep the hands round to the side, land one hand either side of that front foot. Feet stay where they are, and you're going to bring your hips back towards that back heel into a half split. And then let's move forwards into that low lunge again. So we're going to keep swaying backwards and forwards through our half split and into our low lunge. Just feeling where that stretch is changing and moving. Lovely stretch for the hamstring as we come back. Stretching through the hip flexor as we come forwards. Let's take the right hand on the inside of the right leg. And then we're going to bring that right leg back to meet the left and come back down into that child's pose. So bottom towards heels, forehead towards the mat. And let's just rest down here for one moment. And bringing the upper body back up. Gaze between the hands. And this time we're bringing the left foot in between those two hands. Catch your balance. Remember, you can leave your hands here. You can bring the upper body up. Hands can stay on the thigh. Or you can sweep your arms up above your head. Just take that sneaky peek down to make sure you can still see your left toes over that left knee. And then we sink the hips down towards the mat and feeling this lovely stretch through the hip flexor at the front of the right hip. One side might feel easier, one side might feel a bit tighter. Let's sweep those hands round. One hand lands either side of the left foot. Feet stay where they are, and we push the body back, your bottom back towards your heel. And then let's move just in between these two poses. So our low lunge into our half split. This lovely hamstring stretch as we come back, and a hip flexor stretch as we come forwards. Lovely. Let's do one more. A low lunge into our half split. Let's come into low lunge one last time. We'll bring the left hand on the inside of the left foot and then bring the left leg back to meet the right. And let's come down into our child's pose once more. You might want to bring your knees wide, leaving the big toes together. Just allowing that upper body to fall closer towards the mat, encouraging bottom towards heels. And then let's lift the forehead up. Now bring the upper body up. And let's come over to a seated position. We're going to have the feet as wide as the mat. We're going to sit ourselves up nice and straight here. Now, it might be that if you're particularly tight through the hamstrings or the lower back, actually just sitting up straight is where you want to stay. Or it might be that you can maybe lift your arms up over your head. And as you exhale, bring yourself forwards. And we aim to keep that back nice and long. So always consider bringing a length into the spine as you come into these forward folds. So make sure that you're not hunching here and that you're tipping from the hips. Lovely long spine and thinking nose towards toes rather than forehead towards knees. Let's spend one moment in this forward fold, really calming position. Just a lovely stretch all the way through the back chain of the body here. And let's land hands on the mat and just walk ourselves back up to that seated position. We're going to bring the right hand onto the left shin, maybe down towards the ankle. We're going to sweep the left hand up. So we come into kind of a forward fold and a twist. If that arm is uncomfortable in the air, you can always pop it on your hip or maybe on your lower back as you come into this twist. We'll just take one more moment here. And then maybe with the help of the right hand, just to bring ourselves back up, we're going to do the same on the other side. So your left hand comes towards your right shin bone. Coming into a slight forward fold, we're going to twist around towards the right side and lift the right hand up. Remembering you can pop, there's an option to pop your right hand on that lower back if that feels more comfortable. We're not here for long. Let's take one more moment in this twist. Lovely. And then bringing ourselves back up to seated. Let's shuffle the bottom forwards. And in a safe way to you, let's come back down to a lying position on the mat. I'm going to stretch the legs out this time. Let's bring our arms up and over above the head. And bring your left foot out towards the left edge of the mat. The right hand out towards the right edge of the mat. Cross your right foot over the left and bring your right hand towards the left. It might be that you want to grab your right hand with your left and just gently pull. So in some yoga practices, this actually is called banana pose. So you are making a shape of a banana through the whole body here. And as you just maybe gently pull on that right hand, maybe gently encouraging that right foot over to the left side, you're just opening up space through the right hand side of the body here, feeling a lovely stretch through the right side body. Let's uncross the feet and release the hands. Come back to center, and we're going to simply go on to the other side. So right foot comes towards the right edge of the mat, right hand to the right edge. Left foot crosses over the top. Left hand comes towards the right. Maybe taking the left hand in the right hand and just gently gentle pull, and just feeling that lovely opening through the left side of the body now. And this lovely banana or crescent moon shape. Let's take one more moment here. Lovely. And then let's release. And we come back to center. We're going to have a few moments of relaxation now. So if legs straight out along the mat feels good, you can keep them here. If you would rather bend the knees as we started the session, then you're welcome to. So just landing the body back into the mat and relaxing down, deepening in, and just becoming aware now of how the body feels. Done some lovely releases of the spine, some forward folds, extensions, some twists and some side stretches, medicine for the spine. So as we just finish, knowing that all that hard work is done, let's land the body back in, releasing tension. Trust your mat to hold you. You don't need to hold on to anything. Taking the mind to the breath and just gently breathing in and out through the nose. And on each exhale, see if you can just release and deepen a bit further into the mat. Spine relaxes. Back resets. And then on the next inhale, take the breath a bit deeper into the body. And on the next exhale, just release all the air, let it go. And then let's gently bring the soles of the feet back into the mat, and lift in one leg and then the other leg, so that the knees come in towards the chest. And let's do a gentle rock from side to side. And rolling over onto one side. Maybe taking a moment here before we come up to seated. And let's sweep the arms up, out to the side, above our head. Palms meet. Palms come to heart center. Namaste. Thank you for joining me, and I hope that has given some release and comfort to your back.